Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Relentless and Unstoppable. Today we have a special episode being presented, and our guest is Gabbie from the Mount Brumby Sanctuary. Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. Gav, how are you?
I'm doing good. So tell our followers what you're known for.
Well, I'm saving Brumbies. I mean, we are three funders, so I'm not the only one who founded Snowy Mountain Brumby Sanctuary. We are three left, and we have people who are helping us behind the scene. We have some volunteers, what we really need, because we can't do it on our own anymore. So we getting Brumbies from the parks, we pick them up, it's that trap, and then we tame them, we give them that time first to adjust to domestic life, and then we handle them safely, and then we rehome them because they're amazing. And at the moment, Australia wants to eradicate all our Brumbies. So we have a lot of protests. We had first time, we had a convoy from Melbourne to Sydney, and then we had a protest up there. That was amazing. They handed actually a ticket into the new environment minister up there to go to the Cosco National Parks to see on his own that are not many Brumbies left. But of course, no response, like always, the government just don't listen to the people anymore in Australia. And that makes me really angry because I love this country and it's just a beautiful country. We are so lucky. But the government at the moment, they stuff everything up, and people still sleep. They don't wake up what's going really on here. And in Victoria, they shooting our Brumbies too. They want to get rid of them all. I don't know why. They blame the Brumbies for everything. Not only they blame them for everything, like what wild pigs actually doing the damage. I went 2 years ago into the Alpines to stand between the Brumby and the shooter to save at least one. That's how we started the idea with the Mountain Brumby Sanctuary. Then we ran out of water, so we found a little river where horses drink as well. It was crystal clear, so we filled our bottles up. We're still alive, nobody got sick, so they say the horses dirty the water. It's not true. And we found a lot of evidence what actually wild pigs doing. So they can't blame the Brumbies for everything. But the part is city politicians, they do the decision for the country people and they don't come up even. They don't know even what's going on here. The wild horses, they keep the grass down in the high country. So we have less fuel for bushfires, and we really have lots of bushfires always because Australia is pretty hot, and I'm really worried this year when you see what's happening in Europe and United States with all the bushfires everywhere. So maybe we having a heat wave too this year, so how and then they want to get rid of that. They can't have even cattle anymore in the high country. The parks closed down that you can't ride your horse anymore. So they just do what they want to, and that's really hurting, and I'm very angry about that.
I understand completely. That's very tough. There's always obstacles to the goals that we have in life, but they can be really tough sometimes. Where are you originally from, by the way?
I'm originally from Germany. I came to this country 24 years ago, and I love it. It's such a lucky country. We just need to make sure it stays like that.
And I can see the people behind you making sure of that, pulling the dirt and all that.
Yes, we actually, because we have winter time still over here, and we had lots of rain, so it's a little bit muddy. And we're very lucky. We get from a company in Kilmore where I live, they give us sawdust or wood shaving for $50 a whole truck full, and then we have a truck driver who picks it up for us and delivers it to us for free. So just to help us. So we need more people like this to help us because we don't get any funding from the government. And we're making it really tough, So we work really hard physical. We roll big round bales still in the paddock for the Brumbies because we make sure they have 24 hours hay, what costs a lot of money too, and we roll them in by hand. So much at the moment, so it's a really tough job, and sometimes we need 4 people to do that.
Yeah, that's really great that you guys are working for that. So what was the reason you moved to Australia exactly?
Make a long story short, when I was little, we had even in Germany the story Skippy the bush kangaroo, and that's when I fall in love with Australia. And I told my mom always, I'm going to live in Australia. She said, oh, you can't do that, you have nobody there. So it took me a little bit longer. Then we came up for a holiday, and that was the first time in my life I didn't want to go back home. So we worked on it to move to Australia. So I took my kids with me, so we moved up to Australia, and we're all happy still here.
That's really cool. Australia is a great country with different cultures like the Maori and others.
Yeah, and normally what I did like, the Australians, they stand up together, but now I don't know if it was the COVID, they also disconnected. They don't care anymore. That's the problem, they're sleeping. I don't know what's going on, it's not that, we have still a few who are helping each other. We have another protest on the 20th of August in the city, and let's see what's happened there. And I'm going to take a Brumby up from us, and it's really, really disappointing. Even the protests we have, it's very hard, We're trying to put legislation in, so we have the Burma Action Group who try very hard behind the scene to put legislation in and do whatever they can do to stop the cruelty killing of our Brumbies. Then we have the Burma Hay Angels who are doing the same thing. In New South Wales, we have the Snowy Mountain Sustainable Action Group who do the same thing. And we have quite a few good rehomers who are doing the same thing like us. So there is no need to kill them all. But the government just doesn't listen to us still. And we need to spread more awareness around the global world that people maybe get on our side and maybe put some pressure on the government. And we need more celebrities. So we lucky, I don't know if we've seen the movie, The Man from the Snowy River. It's one of my favorite movies from Australia. And there is Tom Burlinson who plays the main role. So he's supporting us now, and he promised to come and visit our sanctuary too. So that's a start, but we need more. We need just to be a louder voice. We're working now together with 3 states, so South Australia, Victoria, and New South Wales. We're working together now to spread awareness what's happened with the Brumbies,
Definitely. We need to raise more awareness on them. And what's the rally going to be about?
Well, the same thing, to stop the shooting and make awareness, to show our government that there are other solutions and how good Brumbies can be. Even in Sydney, we had 2 Brumbies in the city. They've never been in the city, and they've been so good. I can send you probably later some photos and some videos. Maybe you can add that too.
Yeah.
And it was really a good effort, to have that like working 3 states together. South Australia, Adelaide, they had the same time a rally and protest over there, so to support us. And some came actually all the way as well. So I was really impressed. And the part is we handed out some information material like flyers. Most people didn't know even what's happening here. It was really amazing how people been suddenly interested. Oh, we didn't know that, because the government is silent about it. Not many things comes up in the news because they're supporting more the government, and for them it doesn't matter what the people want.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, yeah, it's really sad that people are making animals our scapegoats for our wrongdoings and mistakes. It's just, That's what's going on. And, shooting all the Brumbies, that's not the answer. It's murder.
And what they trap them, then what they can't rehome or what they don't want to rehome, they send them to abattoirs where they get slaughtered as well, and they're ending up in dog food. And how bad is that? A wild horse. First they get trapped. So they get separated from sometimes mares outside, the foals inside, or the other way around. How bad is that? And then they get transported, they get chased on a truck, get transported to an abattoir where they get shot. And horses, they can read your mind. They can sense things. So they know already what's happened when they can feel the fear. So, and I think this is really bad, And then I think in Northern Territory, and I think maybe some from Queensland too, they're actually sending them off on boats to ship them overseas as a live export, and then they get slaughtered over there. So because in other countries, horse meat is a delicatessen. So, and that's really, how we can put wild animals on a boat.
I don't know how people like that ever get to sleep at night. That's really evil.
Exactly. Me too. I don't understand that, I know if there are too many Brumbies or too many wild horses, they need to be managed. But there is a better way, not a cruelty way, how the government wants to do it, how they want to shoot them, Look, in the United States, they're doing it pretty well. So they have a program where they implant, like with darts, mares, some hormones, or I don't know what it is, that they don't get pregnant. Why can't they do that here? Or just get more stallions out, get them rehomed. They can get gelded. And stallions are actually amazing horses too. I was first when we started, we don't get stallions. Maybe they're too dangerous. They're not. They actually amazed me too, they're really gentle. So we have 3 left. I don't know if you can see, maybe I hold that up a little bit. There is, I think he's too far. He's too far. You can't see them. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we're having still some, and they turn out really nice, calm horses as well.
Definitely. And we have parks in Yellowstone where we preserve wildlife. Why can't Australia do the same?
Exactly. Australia is such a big country. They have so much land. I don't know why they just put somewhere an area up where they can run wild, untouched,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why can't they do that? With management. But the parks, they fail with their management. So now the Barmah Forest is flooded because too much water. So they had to release some water into the river from the from the water reservoirs, from their dams. And they don't care about weeds. So they have, when I went up in the country, they have Pedersen curse, that's a bad weed up here. They have blackberries, they have everything. So why don't they do anything about that? So then they have fungus, where some special frogs dies from, and they blame the Brumbies for that. They even said Brumbies eating frogs. Brumbies don't eat meat.
They don't. They eat grass and hay.
But then there are people in the city who doesn't know anything about horses or the country, and they believe everything. And the government support just the people in the city, not the country much anymore. Nothing.
That's really terrible.
It is. And it's a shame for Australia that it becomes this way now, So I'm really disappointed about that, and they need to wake up to fight, If we don't do it now, it's too late later.
Yeah, definitely. So we got to get this episode out to the public. That's all I have for now.
Okay, thank you, Duff. I really appreciate that.
No problem. So everyone, we'd like to thank Gabbie for appearing on the show, and we'll see you next week for the next episode of Relentless and Unstoppable.